The Admin Console is where you can manage all parts of your G Suite domain. As an administrator, it is important to be sure that everything is set up properly to meet the needs of your organization. This is the Admin Console dashboard. Here are a list of controls you can open and change. You can customize this list by dragging apps into an order you like. You can open a sidebar on the right by clicking this tab. Here you will see statistics on activity in your domain, as well as links to common tools and tasks. Use the search bar at the top to quickly find a setting, control, or help article. Click the notifications icon to see alerts about new G Suite features, possible service disruptions, and billing for your account. You can also click the Help icon to find Help Center articles for the Admin Console. The More menu will give you additional options inside of each section of the Admin Console. Click the menu icon to open a sidebar with links to each section of the Admin Console. As an administrator, you can manage accounts, passwords, and profiles all from the user's control. Before people within your organization can use G Suite, they will need to have a user account within your domain. If you turn on the Gmail service for your domain, users will also be given an email address. When you go to the Users section, you will see a list of active users in your domain. Click the More menu and select Download Users to download a list of users to a spreadsheet. In this menu, you can also add and remove columns by clicking Select Columns. These columns display information such as email addresses, account status, two-step verification enrollment status, and storage usage for each user. You can use filters to display only the information you need, such as different user types or members of a suborganization in your domain. You can also move and view users in different organizational units, which are groups that you use to apply settings for specific groups of people in your organization. Organizations in G Suite are used to separate settings and policies for different groups of people and devices in your domain. By default, when you create new users, they are placed in a single organizational unit, or OU for short. You can create sub-organizational units under the top level and then move users into sub-organizations to apply different settings to them. For example, if you have a sales department in your organization, you might want to make sure they can share their calendar information with external clients while limiting your other users to only your domain. To do this, you would create an OU named Sales, move all of your sales users into it, and then adjust the calendar sharing permissions for that OU. School admins might want to create separate OUs for their teachers, students, and part-time staff, and then apply different settings to each. Different services could then be turned on or off for each group. For example, this would let you provide Hangouts to teachers and staff, but block it for students. It is important to note that a user or device can only belong to one OU and inherits all of that OU's settings. If you want to adjust the settings for a single user or device, you will need to create a specific OU just for them. There is no limit to how many OUs you can create. They can be created at the same level or in a hierarchy. If you create a sub-organization under another OU, it will inherit all settings from the parent organization. You can then adjust the settings for the sub-organization. If you make changes to the parent organization, they will apply to all the OUs under it, unless those specific settings have already been customized in the sub-OUs. You can share the management responsibilities of your G Suite domain with other administrators. This is done by assigning admin roles to other users on your domain. Admin roles let you delegate responsibility for specific tasks in G Suite, such as resetting passwords or managing mobile devices. G Suite includes several pre-built admin roles for you to choose from. The Super Admin role has full access to all the features in the Admin Console and the Admin API. The Groups Admin role can manage Google Groups for your organization. They can also view user profiles and your organizational units. The User Management Admin role can manage users, create and delete user accounts, rename users, and change passwords. The Help Desk Admin role has access to reset user passwords but not administrator passwords. The Services Admin role can manage the services and applications that are included with your G Suite subscription, as well as any Chrome or mobile devices on your domain. You can also create custom admin roles by selecting the specific permissions you want to assign. This lets you tailor the management of your G Suite domain to best meet your organization's needs. Your G Suite services are found in the Apps control in the Admin console. The services in G Suite give your users access to Google services and third-party applications. There are 4 main areas where services can be administered: the G Suite control, the additional Google Services control, the Marketplace Apps control, and the SAML Apps control. G Suite contains the core Google services. These are turned on by default and are fully supported by Google Technical Support. Some examples of core Google services include Gmail and Google Drive. Additional Google Services contains additional services provided by Google that can also be turned on for your organization and are supported by Google Technical Support on a best effort level. Examples include Blogger, YouTube, and Google Photos. Marketplace Apps gives you access to a variety of third-party applications that can further enhance your G Suite experience. The SAML Apps control is where you can set up other cloud apps to use your G Suite accounts for login, instead of creating separate accounts. Groups is a service for G Suite where your users can easily communicate and collaborate with groups of people. Each group you create has an email address that can be used to reach all members of the group. In an enterprise environment, you might want to create groups for individual departments such as sales, engineering, marketing, or human resources. In an education environment, you might create groups for teachers, IT staff, students, or classrooms. In addition to being able to communicate through email with all members of a group, you can also use the group email address to share G Suite content. For example, a teacher could share a Google Site with their classroom group, or a salesperson could share a Google Drive folder with their sales team. Groups can also include people not in your organization. External email addresses can be added to the group. The standard version of Groups can be managed by G Suite administrators, but you can upgrade to Groups for Business where your users can create and manage groups. As a G Suite administrator, you can view and manage the mobile devices that are connected to your domain. G Suite Device Management gives you the tools you need to ensure that your organization's data isn't mishandled. Here in the Device Management control, you can see which devices are synchronizing data with your domain, who they belong to, and what they have access to. You can apply separate policies to devices based on whether they run Android or iOS, and whether they're owned by your organization or by the user. You also have control over which applications can be installed by your users on managed devices. If any of your organization's managed devices are ever lost or stolen, you can even have them remotely locked or wiped. As an administrator, you will want to monitor how Google services are being managed and used throughout your organization. The Admin console has tools in the Reports control that you can use to analyze usage data. The Highlights page provides a quick overview of your domain status with charts displaying G Suite application usage, account status, storage usage, and document visibility. Clicking on any of the items displayed on the Highlights page will take you to the page for that item. You can also get more in-depth information by clicking on the Aggregate Reports, Security, Apps Usage Activity, or Account Activity sections. Each of these sections has topical charts and graphs, and you can download reports for use in other applications. The Audit section contains detailed logs for your domain activity. These logs allow you to view full details of your admin activity, user login activity, Marketplace Apps logins, OAuth tokens, and perform email log searches. The Manage Alerts section is where you can turn on or off email alerts for activity on your domain. You can choose to be alerted for user-related activities, when domain settings are changed, or when an outage is reported for a G Suite service. As an administrator, the security of your G Suite domain is one of your greatest concerns. You need to make sure your users' accounts are secure and that data being created and shared are protected. You can use the settings in the Admin console to create security for your organization. To access the basic security settings, first click on the Security control. Next, click on Basic Settings. Under Password Strength, you can adjust the required length for users' passwords. Two-step verification requires users to enter a code from their mobile device in addition to their password when they sign into their G Suite account. Domains are used by G Suite to create users' email addresses as well as custom web addresses for the individual apps. In an enterprise environment, you may have more than one domain for multiple sub-organizations or departments. In an education environment, you may want to separate domains for your students and teachers. Fortunately, G Suite supports multiple domains, and you can easily manage them in your admin console. When additional domains are added, you can use them to give existing users email addresses at those domains, and you can add new users directly to them. Users within your organization will be able to easily communicate and share with users across all of your domains. In this control panel, you can also approve file sharing between your G Suite domain and other domains outside of your organization. Now that you know the fundamentals of the admin console, you can begin managing your G Suite domain.